It feels like we're seeing the accelerated demise of our financial institutions and money in our bank accounts almost on a daily basis at the moment, with the uncertainty ahead in the UK for the budget. There are a lot of people flocking to silver and gold, a lot of people who are brand new to silver and gold, looking for what they might want to protect their money with against the backdrop of really quite crazy taxation and crazy policies within governments. There are so many things wrong, it seems, with our country, and not just Britain, but everywhere around the world at the moment. We're seeing, I think, the financial meltdown in slow burn accelerate more every day, and it really is quite worrying. Gold and silver are part of the answer, part of the solution to that big problem. But what gold and silver? If you have nothing right now in precious metals, what on earth should you buy to protect yourself? Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to another Precious Metal Ramble, where we have down-to-earth discussions about all things precious and shiny. And these precious and shiny things are going up in value like they're going out of fashion. There's a lot of financial instability and uncertainty out there, and certainly here in the UK that is being exemplified with all of the speculation ahead of the budget at the end of November. For those outside the UK, basically once a year we get our Chancellor of the Exchequer, the finance person, stand up and tell us quite how bad the world is of our finances and how much tax we're going to have to pay. And this year is going to be horrible. I can foresee it now. There is going to be tax, and a little bit more tax. It's like that Monty Python spam. We're going to have some tax with our spam. Thank you very much. It's going to be bad. And there's a lot of people out there who also feel the same, and so are flocking in their droves to precious metals. Certainly to things like capital gains tax exempt products like Britannia's. But who knows, maybe the Chancellor of the Exchequer will change the capital gains exemption status on coins. So what to buy is a kind of big question right now. And I've been stacking silver for close to 10 years, stacking gold for close to 10 years. So I'm going to share some of my thoughts, which will be somewhat biased by the fact that I have been sitting on a nice pile of metals for the last 10 years. So do bear my opinions in mind with a pinch of salt. I'd love to know what you think though. This is the whole point of why we do these kind of videos about what to buy, how to buy, where to buy. I want to see what you've got to say. It also helps with the YouTube engagement and algorithm. So put your comments down in that comment section. I want to know what you've got to say about gold and silver, about what you're buying right now. If you had nothing, what would you buy right now? And don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, because there'll be a lot more financial instability style videos to unpack. Certainly as the budget comes up in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be a pretty crazy month and run up to Christmas, I have no doubt. So lots of beautiful shiny things to showcase as we talk now about what to buy. The big question on a lot of people's mind right now is it silver or gold? That's the question. Silver's up a lot. And gold is also up a lot, both at historic all-time highs. Will there be a lot more room for growth? I think so, but that's not financial advice. I'm not predicting what the future will be. But undoubtedly, both have their merits. But which is better? So it depends somewhat on your finances. If you're just on a smaller budget, of course, silver is a lot more affordable, and buying one single silver coin is going to be a lot more affordable than buying one single gold coin. That said, if you are buying silver right now, the premiums are extortionate for simple bullion stuff. There are bullion dealers which have to charge VAT, which by the way is such a punitive tax because as price rises, as inflation goes up, the VAT is exponentially going to go up. You know, a year ago when silver was £24 an ounce spot price, on a purchase you'd be paying £5–6 in VAT. But now, with spot price being over £40, you're paying £8–9 an ounce in VAT. And the fact that premiums are up as well, you're sometimes paying £12 an ounce in VAT alone for silver. So it's a rip-off. It's just another way that the government can get their hands on our well-earned money. So buying your product second-hand, there's no way I'm going to get this lid of this capsule off. We're just going to have to look at it through the capsule. Getting your value for money right now on silver is so hard. And I just don't get that there are people out there who are in this FOMO mentality of saying, well, I'm just going to buy anything I can from anywhere I can, because irrespective of the fact I'm buying with, you know, people are buying silver at £65–70 an ounce on bullion grade stuff that if they turn around to the exact same dealer and sell it back to them, they're going to get spot price. It's crazy. Losing money. Hand over fist with silver. Gold, not so much. So we'll talk a little bit more about my preferred option right now if I had nothing, which would be gold, after a quick word from today's video sponsor. The USA and China are battling over mineral supply chains and technology supremacy because globalization stepped out of equilibrium, and you can see just how when looking at the strategy both powers are taking regards rare earth minerals. Trump uses tariffs and deregulation to begin the process of realigning mining and securing resources on US soil, where the CCP is using their near monopoly status, scale and reserves to their advantage. Today, I want to showcase a company that is actually trading at its 2025 lows right now, down nearly 70% from its Q1 highs, the sponsor of today's video and the owner of the Majuba Hill Copper Project and past-producing mine in the state of Nevada, Giant Mining Corp, ticker symbol BFGFF. Copper, vital for defense and AI infrastructure, underscores America's vulnerability to foreign dominance, particularly China's control over global refining. In February 2025, President Donald Trump signed Executive Order 14220, initiating a Section 232 investigation into US copper imports and classifying the nation's dependence on foreign suppliers as a potential national security risk. The investigation, completed in June 2025, identified a significant US trade deficit and overcapacity from state-subsidized Chinese copper production, leading to a July presidential proclamation that imposed 50% tariffs on semi-finished copper products, including wires and cables, effective August 1st, 2025. One of the world's most famous mining billionaires said about copper that the world needs astronomical amounts of copper over the next 20 years. He repeatedly said there is no rational price for copper when the metal is essential. Giant Mining, ticker symbol BFGFF, owns a past-producing copper mine in Nevada, one of America's best and most cherished mining jurisdictions. The most crucial part of all of this is that Giant Mining's share price is still not recovered from the April market shock. Historic underground mines at the Majuba Hills project produced copper, tin and silver from the early 1900s to 1950s, including 2.8 million pounds of copper, 184,000 ounces of silver, 5,800 ounces of gold and 21,000 pounds of tin. The infrastructure is ready. Access roads, power supply, transportation, water supply, ore stockpiles, you name it. Do your homework on Giant Mining, ticker symbol BFGFF. A big thank you to them for sponsoring today's video, and on we go with today's precious metal ramble. So when you are faced with this idea of either throwing money away at the taxman, which, let's be quite frank, is going to be spent in some of the most ridiculously stupid ways possible, because that seems to be the only way that this country is running at the moment, realistically the only other viable option is gold. But it seems strange for a lot of people to be buying gold right now, considering how high that price is. Will that price continue to rise? It's anybody's guess, and I'm, again, not going to give financial advice, but what I will say is over the last 10 years of me having bought gold, that every time it seems like a new high has been reached, I remember when it went to £1,500 an ounce, £2,000 an ounce, 2.5, 3,000, we're now at £3,200 an ounce for gold. It just seems like it will never end. I do think there will be a peak at some point, but where that peak will be it be 4,000? Will it be 5,000, 6,000 pounds an ounce? I don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and say that you should buy gold, because I do genuinely think it's going to go to 6,000 pounds an ounce and you'll double your money in a short space of time. I don't think that's likely, but I do think over a long period of time that is an almost guaranteed thing to happen, just with the devaluation of money. And we're going to see that devaluation exponentially rise after this budget. I think it's going to be a catastrophic budget. I disagree entirely with a lot of the things that are being speculated. And depending on what comes out in the budget, it could actually spell the end of me even bothering to be a self-employed business, because there just would be no point. There would literally be no point. I would be paying too much tax, paying too much to be an unpaid tax collector for VAT. It would just suck, and I just can't be bothered with it. I don't necessarily need to have the stress of it in my life. And that's sad, and that's just really, really stupid. But more on that, I think, when we know the facts and figures of the budget come end of November. But right now, gold is, in my opinion, the way safer bet. And safe is the most important thing. There's definitely an argument to be had that silver could have more potential. Let's have a look at this beautiful completer again. Silver could have more potential in terms of growth. You know, people historically will say that silver is undervalued relative to gold. And I do think, generally speaking, if I was given the opportunity right now to buy spot price silver or spot price gold, I'd probably err on the side of spot price silver. But you're just never going to get spot price at the moment on anything, because the premiums are up. The supply chains are affected from this rise in demand. It's a shame. Oh, maybe I can. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to try it out here off camera. And I think that those premiums are just crippling people's chances to make money. But unfortunately, there's this new wave of silver buyers, people coming in thinking they're going to get a great deal. And I've seen it in the comments on some of my videos, you know, when I've been critical of people paying stupid premiums for it. Unfortunately, sometimes you just can't fix stupid. And I will say this to some people, that they are being stupid. If they're paying, you know, £1,800 for a kilo of silver, I can't open this capsule. This is so annoying. It's such a beautiful coin out of the capsule. I wonder if we've now opened it enough that I can do this. Yes, probably best not to do this with a Perth Mint assay card bar, but you know what? It's provocative. It gets the people going. Shout at me in the comments if you want. There we go. The lid is now off. And the beauty of this coin can be unveiled. So the premiums, if you're paying, right now, if you're paying £1,800, £2,000 for a kilo of silver, then you're going to lose money. I can see it now. People are just never going to get that back. Certainly not for a very long time anyway. But if you're paying for gold right now and you're paying a couple of percent over spot from a dealer, then I think you've got a really good chance of protecting your money. What I would say is I think that people are in this crazy zone right now. And no dealer has seen anything like this before. All the dealers that I've been speaking with and talking with about the current state of the markets, they've never seen anything like this at all. It's crazy. It's mad what's happening. And I can only foresee this continuing to be mad for the foreseeable future. The state of the world, state of money right now is such that it's just particularly crazy. So if I had nothing in gold and silver reserves right now, I would 100% be wanting to get some. If I know that from my history of where I got started buying silver, I got started because I wanted to invest some money. I wanted to have something a little bit different from stocks and shares. I wanted to diversify my portfolio, did a little bit of a Google search about what the best things might be to invest in, found the world of gold and silver, the rest is history, bought a load of gold and silver. So I know that if I was in the same position right now that I was 10, 11, 12 years ago, I would be finding gold and silver and I'd be saying, yes, this is the right thing to do because it's inflation proof. It's going to beat inflation, if anything. In fact, right now we are massively outstripping inflation in terms of returns on gold. It's something that's real, that can't be taken away in terms of that value. There is always going to have value there. And you can't say that about the money in your bank account right now, unfortunately. It seems every week, every month, there are new taxes, new levies, new just news items that mean that the money in our pocket is devaluing day by day. Things are getting more expensive day by day, and it sucks. It really, really sucks, to be honest. And I can only see that getting worse over the next couple of weeks and years. I don't mean to be sort of the doom and gloom conspiracy theorist to say that gold and silver is going to go to the moon, but it looks that way. It looks that way. So pretty crazy. Right. Round out and finish the video. So if I had nothing right now, what would my decision be? My decision would be not to buy silver with the VAT on top, because I don't understand people who go away and go, yeah, I'm going to spend £65 an ounce on my silver Britannias, and then tomorrow look at the buyback price. Oh, they're going to give me 40 quid for it. What? I've lost £25 an ounce I've lost. What the hell? It wouldn't make sense to me. So I would go on to places like the Silver Forum. Even on the Silver Forum right now, people are charging £50 an ounce for Britannias, which I think is too expensive. So I have had silver come through my buyers club. If you don't know, I help people find buyers and sellers and help people sell. We price things fairly. I don't gouge. I don't try and market manipulate for the benefit of the seller. I'm very open and honest about this with people. I say, look, you could go and try and sell this yourself and you could get a couple of pounds more an ounce for all your silver. But the ease of my service I think speaks volumes, and people like to do that. And then we pass on those good deals to people. If I had silver come through right now today, I'd quote people £5 over an ounce. My fees are £1 over an ounce for big bulk, £1.25 an ounce if it's a small order. That's your net return, £3.75 to £4 an ounce over spot. And that's fair because the bullion dealers right now are paying spot on things. So you're getting a better deal, buyers are getting a good deal. And of course, if you then want to go and flip it, you can do the work and make a little bit of money on the side. That's the only thing that I can say. So silver for me is good if you can get it at the right price. But at the moment, I just can't see people getting it at the right price because the markets and the premiums are such that they are like gouging people, it seems. It really is pretty hard. So then gold is realistically the only viable option I feel for making a little bit of money, making a little bit of profit on this stuff. And that's the only way that I can see people reliably making any returns on their gold from this position. That's the difficult thing. You look historically and you see these massive price hikes and rises. If something's already gone up 60%, is it going to go up even further? It might go a little bit, but I don't think we're going to see another 60% rise. in a short space of time. It would have to be a colossally bad budget if that happened. It really would. So in summary, what would I buy? I'd buy gold. I'd buy fractional gold. I'd buy sovereigns. I'd buy these because they're capital gains tax exempt, for now at least. They are VAT exempt when you buy them, for now at least. I mean, this is a video topic for another time. I don't see those two things changing. I think that would do too much damage to the economy. But anything could happen with this government, that's for sure. I would avoid big chunky pieces because they're just too expensive right now to potentially sell on with ease. Like if you take them to a dealer, sure, easy. But if you have 10 1-ounce gold Britannias, that's like 35 grand. Are you going to post that? No, you're going to have to take a trip into London or to Birmingham to see a bullion dealer, or Blackpool, wherever it might be. So pretty tough. Are you going to go and buy big silver bars? Probably not. They're too expensive. The premium's too much for a big silver bar right now. There's a whole host of different questions. And that's why we make this video, to ask the difficult questions and get you thinking about it. Every time I do a video like this, I'm going to get people who moan in the comments going, they didn't actually answer the question. Well, I first of all I said, what would I buy? I'd buy sovereigns. I'd buy the cheapest thing I could over spot price. But I asked this of people to make their own minds up, because I think that's the only responsible way that people can take charge of their finances. Financial literacy is dying in this world. People don't know about it. I had a conversation with somebody the other day about VAT on these products, and VAT potentially having to be implemented on my business, on my poured silver. And they were like, yeah, well, so what's the problem? Well, they don't understand that tax adds the cost of the item that they're paying. People don't understand it. The general public doesn't understand this stuff. And once you've seen the light, once you've come away and you've gone, if I buy this for £65, I'm going to lose 25 quid. Or if I buy this for £780, but I sell it back at £750, I've only lost 30 quid. And the percentages there are crazy. Of course, the potential for gain is so much better on gold than it is on silver, but people don't get it. People don't understand it. I don't understand why. Yeah, crazy times. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What are we going to say for the cool kids? Kind of like the financial literacy thing. So financial literacy, hang on, what are we going to say? We're going to have to make it cool. So financial literacy. I'm struggling here. Okay, we'll just say financial literacy. That's, I think, the phrase. Okay, I've got it. Financial literacy, yes, please. That's what your phrase is, to be in for the running. And don't tell anyone, because it's a super secret prize giveaway. At the end of the month, I'm going to give away a Silver Britannia, and I'm going to give it to one random cool kid comment on one of my videos. So you'll have to watch my videos and find out what the phrase is, the super secret phrase, comment it, and if I select your comment, you'll win. We've already done one from last month, and it was a real pleasure to do that. So your phrase for today, financial literacy, yes please. That is the phrase to get in that giveaway. That's it from me. Thanks all for watching. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.